Hello, my name is Mike Patterson. I'm the Northeast District City Council member. I was appointed to the position in 2013. I've run for re-election in 2014 and 2015. It's not one issue that's facing the city of Rochester. We have a range of issues, and as a member of council, you have to move and adjust through these issues. So some of my biggest concerns and the issues that I work on are quality, affordable housing, ownership, and also rental housing. The next one is public safety and all of the ranges that go with public safety. In the Northeast in particular, dealing with the heroin epidemic, but also public safety from the perspective of I have community members who are constantly calling for service from the police, and they don't feel that that service happens in a timely manner. At the same time, we have a tremendous issue with police-community relations where folks are sometimes reluctant to call the police because they don't know what they're going to get when they have that officer come to the door. The other issue that we have that is of grave importance in the city of Rochester is employment. Towards the last one, I've been working closely with the new owners of the Hawkeye plant located on St. Paul. And we had a job fair back in February. They're definitely looking to hire. They're going to be bringing more folks online. And what's interesting is that that plant in the past really didn't employ from the neighborhood, but they look as though they really are interested in hiring folks in the neighborhood. So we're constantly working to create more opportunities for employment for our city residents, especially folks in the Northeast. You know, in my time on city council, we've had a fair number of pieces of legislation that have been struck down by the courts. All of those pieces of legislation were introduced in the best interest of the people of the city of Rochester. That was the thinking of past councils that voted for them and approved them, and the mayors that signed them. Unfortunately, the courts disagreed. So the challenge going forward is to do not just what you feel is right, but also what is actually legal that serves the best interest of the people. And so that's always a challenge. But at the same time, sometimes, especially in police accountability, you go what some folks would consider a little farther than the accepted norm and range. Changing the concept and the thinking on council on what affordable housing is, it takes time, energy, and experience to understand these issues. You don't pick them up in a year or 2 years. It takes years to get your feet under you on council, where you can kind of really understand not just what you want to do, but how council works. You know, the approach I take to trying to get legislation introduced and adopted and done, I take a bottom-up perspective. But as someone who grew up poor and who ain't got no money now, I'm happy to tell you that I have a side. My side is poor folks. I want people to complain. As a matter of fact, I go to community meetings in the Northeast and I tell folks, I need you to complain. And the reason why I tell them to complain is because government is complaint driven. The challenge really is, how do we make Rochester work for everyone? And it's a real challenge because Rochester is a fundamentally racist city. And it always has been. There was no golden age when it was better. It's better now than it was, but it's not great. And what's the determining factor? Your race. The Good Old Boy Network has run here for so long. I grew up in the Northeast back in the 80s, and it wasn't so nice. This is my community. I get it. And I want folks to be stable, you know, so I'm always out here trying to figure out a way to make this community work better for poor folks. You know, so when I'm working on housing, one of the biggest things I'm pushing for is multi-family, multi-generational housing. Trying to do 4-bedroom units, 3-bedroom units. We're adding that to the mix, and we're trying to get more of those because, you know, I'm talking to the developer and he's going, yeah, mom, dad, and a couple kids. And I'm going, no, actually, it's more like grandma, mom, a couple of kids, some cousins, an uncle. You know, that's how our folks live. You know, it's not just that whole nuclear family, Leave It to Beaver, Ozzie and Harry. That ain't us. And these projects, these things take years to accomplish.